Hey, what's up? This is German with Audio Spring Music, and today we're going to talk about where to get inspiration for songwriting. Knowing where to get inspiration for songwriting is something that everybody struggles with. It doesn't really matter how good you are, this is gonna come up at some point. Since inspiration comes and goes, we gotta find ways to put ourselves in situations that make us feel inspired. So we're gonna talk about a few ways to do that. Let's start off defining what inspiration is. Google defines inspiration like this: the process of being mentally stimulated to do something or feel something, especially to do something creative. The key word here is stimulation. We have to find ways to feed ourselves creative stimulation and make it specific to songwriting. Let's talk about how to do that now. So tip number one is going to be to find artists in other art forms. A great place to find inspiration for songwriting can actually be outside of music. Try going to exhibitions from artists in other creative fields. This can be anything from photography, film, architecture, painting, or anything else, which can help you learn from the creative processes of other artists and inspire you in your own music. Also, being there in person and talking to the other people at the exhibition can give you a sort of artistic culture shock that can make you feel inspired in your own work. If you're watching this and we're still social distancing, that's okay, because you can still get a lot from researching the creative process of these artists online. I especially recommend that you find videos of these artists talking about what their creative process is and also what their art means to them, because that's really how you're gonna catch their vibe and that passion that they have behind their art form, which can make you feel very inspired in your own work. To give you an example, something I found very inspiring was the first episode of season 2 of Netflix's Abstract. And it's a show where they take different types of designers in different fields, anywhere from architecture, illustration, footwear design, stage design, all kinds of design. And basically the artist himself or herself will take you through their entire career and what their entire creative process is. And it can be really inspiring to see these different perspectives on art and how they see things that they make art with. My favorite episode is, like I said, the first one on season 2. I'm not gonna pretend that I can pronounce the artist's name, but I'll post it up and I'll put it down in the description as well, just in case you want to check there too. What I really liked about his style is that he was incredibly creative in very different kinds of media, and also his whole idea behind art is to turn thinking into doing. So I'm gonna let you see the episode and figure out what that means. But I think that's a great place for you to start if you're looking for some inspiration for songwriting. Okay, so tip number 2 is gonna be traveling for concerts. And I know this one might not be an option right now, the time you're watching this. Hopefully we haven't reached a horrible dystopian future where, concerts are not a thing anymore. But this can be really good for getting inspiration for songwriting, especially if you're gonna go see an artist that you really like. I would say try to take at least a week off just to really get a feel that there's a difference in your environment. And the more different the place is from your usual life, the better. If you can go to another country, even better, just because it's gonna be such a huge shock for you in perspective, and it's gonna make you feel very inspired when you come back home. But yeah, if you can travel, even if you're going to another city, close by, that would be great. That would be the best. If you can go to another country, even better. And if you're gonna go see an artist that you really like, that's gonna really give you some motivation for writing music when you come back home. Really doing anything adventurous is a great way to get inspiration for songwriting, and it gives you material to talk about. Tip number 3 is gonna be to spend time with passionate people. You're gonna wanna find and spend time with people who are passionate about what they do. And the reason for that is because passion can be very contagious, and that can spill over to you so that you can feel inspired in your own work to write songs. It helps if they're an artist, but it's not really a requirement. And I would actually challenge you to meet people and spend time with people that are in other fields, sports, politics, fashion, photography, anything that they are passionate about. That can really help you to get different perspectives for your own songwriting and to make you feel inspired, because a problem that I see a lot with artists sometimes is that they get stuck living in a bubble because they never leave what's familiar to them. They never go see things that they're not used to. They get stuck listening to the same things all the time, seeing the same people all the time, going to the same places all the time. And that can really kill your creativity because you're not really having new experiences. You're just having the same experiences all over again. So you have nothing new to contrast your perspectives and your musical ideas with. That's a problem, because when everything is familiar, then you have no stimulation. Nothing is giving you creative stimulation. You're living in a bubble at that point, and that really kills creativity. Tip number 4 is gonna be volunteering. And if you've never tried volunteering, I suggest you try it. It can be really rewarding, but not only that, it can give you different experiences that you can use for inspiration in your songs. For example, if you go feed the homeless, you can write songs about, being grateful for what you have, or songs for less fortunate people. But it can be anything, really. If you like skateboarding, you can go volunteer to teach some kids. You like going to the beach, then volunteer to clean up a beach. If you like music and concerts like I do, volunteer at a music festival. I've done that before. It's great. You get in for free. Sometimes you get free food. You meet new people. And after the festival, you will be super excited to come back and write your own music. So volunteering is a great place to get inspiration for your songwriting. Tip number 5 is going to be journaling. Writing down your thoughts can trigger a flood of ideas for songwriting. There's a really good book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, where she teaches people how to be more creative. She recommends something called morning pages, where every morning you sit down and you write down a few sentences about whatever comes to your head at the moment. It can be anything from how you feel about the weather, to the errands that you have to run, to whatever other inner dialogue comes to your mind at the moment. The idea is to get all of this random chatter into a piece of paper and out of your head. This helps because it gets rid of all that random inner dialogue that is cluttering your mind and keeping you from being more creative automatically. She gives lots of other exercises, and it's a great book to help you be more creative. So if you want to check it out, I'm going to leave a link in the description. You can get it for free from Audible, and it is an affiliate link, so if you choose to use it, it really helps out the channel. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to mention before we wrap up is that if you've been doing all of these things and you've been getting lots of creative stimulation and you still can't write something, most likely the problem is you're overstimulated. My recommendation to you would be to unplug and minimalize, and don't even think about songwriting for a bit. Organize your house, throw away a bunch of stuff that you don't need. Just distract yourself with other stuff for now, because you are saturated and you need to clear your head, and that's gonna really help you push through, because you don't wanna get to a point where you're trying to force something, because it's just gonna get you more stuck. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope this video helped you get an idea of where to get inspiration for songwriting. If there's anything that I missed or anything that has worked for you, go ahead and post it down in the comments for everybody, and I'll also check it out. We'll catch you next time.